Water is in up to 300 meters, so you've got a screw-in crown on this particular Super Ocean Heritage. To operate the piece, we've got to unscrew the crown first. We do that by turning the crown anti-clockwise. So I'm going to do that like so. It's spring-loaded, so when you completely unscrew the crown, it will pop out. And you can see right now there's a bit of a gap between the case and the crown itself. This means the watch is now ready to be wound. Every automatic watch needs to be wound 20 to 30 times the first time you put it on. Reason for this being, it's got a 60-hour power reserve. Some people will shake their automatic watches to get them going, think it's working, and if you look up closely now, the second hand in there is actually moving around. So people will assume that the watch is currently working. So yeah, if you notice now, the second hand is actually moving around, but that's just because we picked the watch up and it's had a little bit of motion, but it's operating with very minimal power. It's probably operating about 5% power. So customers will often see the second hand moving, thinking, oh yeah, watch is working great, put it on their wrist, take it off, and then overnight, because there's not enough power reserve there, the watch will stop, and then they think there's something faulty, when there's obviously not, it's just not been wound properly. A fully wound watch is always going to operate better than one that's been barely wound at all. So to wind the piece up, we just turn the crown clockwise 20 to 30 times. There is a clutch in place to stop it from overwinding. But if you sit there and wind it 100 times every day for 6 months, you will eventually break something. So try and keep counting ahead of 20 to 30. Once you've owned the watch for a little while, you would tend to feel a difference in the torque of the crown, if you like. It gets a little bit tighter, which is signs that, look, it's almost fully wound and we can stop. I'm feeling that now, so I'm going to stop. Once you've done that, you've got the dates in the bottom dial. I'm just going to move the minute hand 1 second so we can see the date. So you've got the date window just there in the bottom dial. To operate the date, we're going to put it out once. There's a half click. You get used to finding that half click on the watch, and you turn it anti-clockwise to change the date. We can see there now, date is changing. Today is the 31st.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, indeed. What I like to do is a little trick on these watches. You leave it set to 30 and then pull it out again, pull the crown out again, and you want to use the hour and minute hand to manually move into the 31st. So we're about to go past midnight, I believe. There we are. So we're manually into the 31st. The reason you do this, the watch has got an AM and PM built into the piece, is to make sure we're on the right side of the 24-hour clock. So obviously we're still in AM at the moment. I've got the time as being 12 minutes past 10. So I'm just going to go, take this bit off here actually. I'm going to go to, just see 10 myself, 1 second. There we are. So the hour hand is showing at 10, and we're going to set it to 12 minutes past. So I've set it to 12 minutes past 10. And then really important part is to push that back in and screw it in. It's a push and screw motion on the wheel there. You feel it going tighter, and you do it until it goes as tight as it possibly can. The watch is water resistant, but only when the crown is screwed in. If the crown is ever not screwed in, you're fully exposed. Even something like washing your hands repeatedly with the crown open, water slowly goes in there. It's direct access into the movement, mixes with the oil, causes you big headaches, and that's not covered by the manufacturing warranty either. So always, always, always keep that crown screwed in. One final point you got on the watch is the diver's bezel. The diver's bezel, as the name suggests, was created way back in maritime times. How it works now, the triangle here is the starting point. It's a unidirectional bezel, so it only goes in one direction. You move the triangle to line up with your minute hand, which I'll show you on camera in a second. So if you see for the stickers there, the triangle was lined up with the minute hand. This is when you start timing whatever it is you want to time. When I first got my Amiga, I was a kid at the time, I used to time how long I was in the car park for. So I'd set the triangle to the minute hand, and as you walk away now, when the minute hand moves around the dial, it's going to count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, up to an hour for you. Obviously, if you're not using the piece, it's nice just to keep the triangle nice and center aligned, that perfect symmetry look on the piece. Other than that, that's pretty much the watch. You have got one last feature actually. On the clasp itself, you've got the new feature where you can quick adjust the clasp. You've got a little lever there, you push down, and I'm just going to demonstrate it for you now. I've just pushed it all the way in, made it a little bit tighter, so if you and Nicola are sharing the piece, you can fiddle with that, and hopefully it fits you both with just a couple of adjustments on the strap. And that there summarizes your brightening super ocean.